Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today we're checking out a 2023 Acura MDX all-wheel drive in the Type S trim level. Now it also has the Advanced package. This vehicle is sitting on 275/40 Continental tires wrapped around 21-inch alloy wheels with a gloss black finish. It also has a high-performance Brembo braking system there in the front with ventilated disc rotors in the front and solid disc rotors in the back. The name of this color is Apex Blue, and man, is it a nice royal blue color. It has a metal flake sparkle to it, and I don't know if the camera can do it justice. This is a really nice color. I've gotten compliments. People just walk by and say, wow, look at that color. Of course, the vehicle accents it nicely as well. Now, it has a lot of gloss black, and it makes it look like a very sporty looking car. So here in the front, it has this huge Acura emblem. Seems like luxury or premium brands have the biggest emblems. And then right above that, this actually serves as a radar adaptive cruise control sensor behind that badge. And then right here is one of the cameras. There's 4 cameras. So this is the front one. There's one in the back and one underneath each side mirror. There's a Type S badging here on the right side, looking pretty cool. And check out that grille. Kind of extends out from the center with these like elongated triangles or something like that. Really cool. Now it has parking sensors across the back, front here. So they're integrated into the body color there. There's one here in the gloss black portion, which it is a functional vent here. There is airflow that goes in there for cooling. The headlights are a multi-projector system, and you got to check out my night video because they do a fantastic job. Even the fog lights here, it's a multi-projector lens for even the fog lights, and the fog lights are in the very low position. So yeah, fantastic job on the headlights. You gotta check it out. I go down the road and it's very surprising how well it works. So looking at the profile, you can definitely see that it has more gloss black. So that whole theme of gloss black on blue continues around each wheel well. On the base of each door, there's even a piece right in there. The side mirrors, the pillars, even the roof rails on the top, all gloss black to match the wheels. This is what the key looks like, and it's a full proximity key system. It has the Type S badge there on the back side with the Acura, and it has remote start, lock, unlock, and the ability to open up the power liftgate and a panic button. There's also a physical key on the inside as well. Let's go ahead and press that panic button. Man, has a really good strong horn. So as long as you have this key with you, it can be in your pocket, in a bag. You approach the vehicle, and at nighttime it actually turn on some lights, as I'll show you that in the night video. But there's a little sensor right here indicated by these 3 little lines. That is for locking the vehicle. Now I already have the setting initiated to where it automatically locks when you walk away from the vehicle. So that's one thing you can have, or you can use this sensor as well. Now there's also a sensor in here, so as long as the key's on the outside of the door, you can place your hand in here and it senses the key and opens and unlocks the doors. There's also a physical key location here on the driver's side only. So the doors go all the way down to the bottom of the vehicle. There's even a rubber seal here as well. So the intention is to keep that area covered, this whole threshold area covered, so it keeps it relatively clean so it doesn't dirty your clothes when you're entering and exiting the vehicle. So the inside of the passenger side door, it is mostly a soft touch door. So a soft touch here, it's like injection molding, and then this is like, they say that there's no false materials in this vehicle, if I'm getting that right. So this is supposed to be leather, or a leather type material. And then there's wood. It has open pore wood that you can see the grains. You can actually feel the grains. It's like an ebony wood. More gloss black over there. There's actually 3 presets for the passenger seat. That's pretty cool. The ELS sound system is fantastic. You definitely have to experience it for yourself. But there's one of the speakers there, and it's actually illuminated at night. It's awesome. Once again, you got to check out my night video. This is enclosed, so you can use it as a pocket as well as a handle. And then you have the large pockets there at the bottom. This is all hard touch at the very bottom. The rest of it is a soft touch. It even has the stitching in a French design as well here. Now the blind spot indicator, the blind spot detection system indicator is located here. It's not in the side mirror, it's in the pillar. So there's a sill plate, type S, little tiny sill plate there in the threshold. And there's the power seat here for the passenger, which is nice. And has the lumbar adjustments as well as bolsters adjustments. You can raise and lower the seat, it has tilt, has a lot of adjustments here. Heated and ventilated, 3-stage heated ventilated seats. They look really nice, they're very comfortable. The bolsters are a little bit too intrusive when I adjust them in for me, so I have to adjust them all the way out, and then it becomes, you know, fine and comfortable, but they look fantastic, and overall the comfort is good. So right over here is a 12-volt power supply. Below that, here on the side of this pillar, on both sides is a speaker. There's like 25 speakers in this vehicle. It's a really good sound system. You gotta check it out, I guess. So there's the floor mat. It just kind of hooks in place. Lots of legroom here in the front. This is a soft touch surface, which is kind of surprising. And there's a lockable glove compartment, felt lined lockable glove compartment. More of that French stitching here and here, double stitched. More ebony wood that goes across all the way across there, and then there's the gloss black as well. And I'm assuming this dash is some kind of leather, based on what I'm understanding, and not a vinyl type material. Could be wrong, but that's what my understanding is. It's real leather. Massive sunroof up there as well. We'll look at that later on. So getting in and out of the vehicle, lots of headroom, just lots of room. The swing of the door is nice. This back door could swing a little bit wider. This area is wide open though, so it's not really an issue to go in and out, get in and out of the vehicle, but having the door swing a little bit wider would be nice. So the back door has a retractable shade. It has privacy glass. You can retract the shade into the door like so. And they didn't skimp really that much. I mean, you got this material here. This is a soft touch, and then the wood chrome accent, more of that leather, and then the hard touch at the bottom. This is enclosed, another cool looking speaker, and then the storage area there. So this second row seat is basically like a bench seat. When you don't have the armrest fold down, you can have a center passenger if need be. There's also the ISOFIX or latch system for car seats as well. But it has these little plastic covers that's, you know, once you take them off, you kind of have to have a place for them. It's easy to lose them, that kind of thing. The back of the front seats, there's these pockets here, but it's like a hard touch surface there. And these just kind of stretch out. Completely flat floor, which is really nice, which helps out because these seats aren't that, they're not that far off the floor, so your knees kind of stick up in the air if you're really tall. Sitting in the back seat, the seat's a little bit close to the floor, so my knees are sticking up quite a bit. I'm 6 feet tall, just to give you an idea. But as far as the seat comfort itself, it's not bad. It's just the floor, you know, the seat is so close to the floor. On the back of the center console, there's climate controls, so there's temperatures, fan speed. There's heated seats back here as well. Change where you want the air to flow, and then automatic, and then of course you can turn it on or off here. There's 2 vents, and then there's a power supply, 12-volt power supply there on the left side, and then there's a power inverter here on the right. It's only a 2-prong though, 150 watts. So this could be like charge your laptop or something, or a device. And then you have 2 USB charge ports here as well. Now, if you check out my night video, some of this is not backlit, so I was kind of surprised. But yeah, it's not bad back here. It's just I'm a little bit tall for this back seat, I guess. But these seats are really comfortable. You can take the center portion out and just have these seats if you wanted to. This center armrest is nice and soft, very soft actually. I wish that this one was as soft as this one. That's funny. And then you have a storage compartment here, and then you have some cup holders. There's a little tap light here. I have the door open so it's automatically on, but a little light, you can, like a reading light. And then a little hanger right here, handle, and then there's like a little speaker right in here. or microphone. I'm not it might be a microphone actually, because it has a cabin talk, which I'll show you on the screen, to where you can communicate with the front passengers, and rear passengers can communicate, and it'll project their voice through the sound system so they can hear each other better. Accessing the third row, there's a button right here. Now you can fold these seats down for cargo mode by using that, but this button is just to kind of push the seat forward like so to get into the third row. Once you have the seat forward, you can kind of step in this little spot right here and access the third row. And it's not a lot of room back there, but it does have, you know, like kids and stuff can get back here. And the second row is pretty close to the floor, so this one's even closer. So it's a two-seater back here. There's a cup holder, there's carpet back here, USB charge port. There's tie downs for when you fold the seats down. There's a USB charge port on that side as well as a cup holder. So basically the same thing. But you can see there's not a whole lot of leg room here. And there's no car seat attachments back here either. So this is the cargo mode here. Basically just fold the seat like this. You can fold the center one separate. Any one of these. This is like a 40-40-20 basically. So you can fold down one or the other, add to your cargo space while still maintaining passenger space. And then the third row is a 50-50 split fold down. Looking at the back of the vehicle, it has the gloss black roof rails here, which you can attach the bars that go across. There's a shark fin antenna that's body colored up here as well. And then the third brake light is at the top of the glass, and this little spoiler there. Now it does have a rear wiper that's down here. It'd be cool if it was up in that area. It swung down instead of up. So the taillights are an LED with the amber turn signal. It's really nice. You can check out my night video. Now it has cameras on both the underside of each side mirror, but the camera back here, you notice the one in the front's in the very center, but this one's for some reason offset way over here, and it's kind of tacked on. It's not integrated with the vehicle, so you know, I don't know why they have it that way. It's for a high-end brand like this, I think they could have done a little bit better job there. So more of that gloss black here at the bottom, and then it has the quad exhaust tips looking pretty nice. So opening up the power liftgate, we can use the key, or there's a button under here. There's the underside. It has these really nice lights. I was surprised. It kind of surprised me, basically. These cargo lights. You see that in the night video, because there's actually no lights in the cargo area. If you have all the seats occupied with the passengers, this is the cargo space. And it's okay. I mean, I've seen worse than this in three-row seated vehicles, but of course you can always fold seats down and add a tremendous amount of space to your cargo space when you don't have so many passengers. Okay, so it's nicely carpeted there on the side. There's another tie down like we saw in the third row. Here on the left side is actually a little plastic cover, and underneath that cover is a 12-volt battery. So that's where the battery is located. So right in here, right here is like a little bag holder, which only has one, which I was kind of surprised. And then there's a 12-volt power supply. And then this button right here, you can press that. And once you turn that on, once you walk away with the key, it closes the power liftgate. So you don't have to actually press any button to close it. It just automatically closes when you walk away. So like the setting for automatically locking when you walk away with the key, this is automatically closes when you walk away with the key. So if we want to add to this cargo space, folding these seats down, you just pull that and it folds the headrest automatically when you pull it down. But then you kind of have to push on the seat and get it going and just kind of flop it down. And you'll notice it's almost a complete flat floor once you fold the seats down. So this is a way of adding cargo space while still maintaining passenger space, because we still have those other seats up. These are down. We could put a long box or, you know, big box right here and still have some passengers back here. Or we can fold them all down and have a huge cargo space back here. So lowering this, there's also a button here if you just want to use that. The fuel door is here on the driver's side, and it locks with the vehicle. So when the vehicle's locked, it's locked. When we unlock the vehicle, it'll also unlock the fuel door. It's a capless design, so you don't have to worry about, having a cap, getting your hands dirty or taking the cap off, finding a place for it, that kind of thing. But they do recommend premium fuel with this vehicle. But yeah, real simple fuel delivery there. Starting it up, as long as you have the key inside the vehicle, you just hold the brake and press this button right here. Here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat. Now these floor mats are way better than the Honda floor mats. The Honda floor mats are just super cheap. These are rubberized and very much better. I'll just say that. So there is the accelerator, brake, and footrest there. They're all raised rubber, aluminum, sporty looking pedals. So let's take a look under the hood. The hood latch is right over here. Just reach in to the side and pull it out. To open the hood, there is a latch basically right here in the center. So reach in, lift it, kind of move it to the left, and then you lift up on the hood and it basically goes up by itself like so. There's the latch here. It actually has two connections, there and there. So when you're closing it, you want to make sure both of them are latched. Okay, so this engine compartment, it has the insulation on the underside of the hood. There's seals around different portions of the engine compartment. It helps with noise and airflow. Now this has a turbocharger, a twin scroll turbocharger. So you can see it right there, very easily seen. And has this covers up the engine. It has like this dense foam underneath it. There's insulation on the firewall as well. But this is an all-wheel drive vehicle with torque vectoring, and it is a pleasure to drive. It is absolutely, the suspension system, it has the air suspension system where it raises and lowers, and it's able to just handle the road nicely. Like I just put my cell phone on just kind of balanced it on the dash, and I was just driving along, and I was just surprised at how well, like it didn't make the cell phone fall. It was just like driving nicely. I was cornering and I was stopping and going and all that stuff, and it's just a really nice, level, enjoyable riding vehicle. And the acceleration is fantastic. The braking with the Brembo braking system is fantastic. So as far as like the performance of the drivetrain and all that, I think they did a great job. The inside of the driver's side door is just like the other side, except for it has a few more buttons. So we got 3 presets for the driver's door as well. Power windows are one touch up and down, so we can just kind of touch it there. They're laminated glass as well. Lift it up. The back windows, they go down all the way, which is nice. And they're also laminated as well. There's door lock control. Side mirrors are adjusted here, and then there's a button there to where you can manually or power fold them in when you want to. Otherwise, you can set it up to where they fold in when you lock the vehicle. There's the button to release the power liftgate, and then the pockets there at the bottom. So the driver's seat actually has more functionality. It has the ability to, it has the lumbar adjustments, it has the side bolster adjustments, as well as the seat. This thigh extension right here will extend out. And you make that selection using this button, this toggle switch right here, up and down. And it'll show on the screen where you're at, and you can make the selections and adjustments that you want. So really good, comfortable seat. That has the massage function as well, and it's pretty good. Really nice massage seats here in the front. Both the driver and passenger have them. To the left of the steering column, there's a few buttons here. So down here is the electronic parking brake, and it's odd because most vehicles you pull out on it to engage. This one you push it to engage, and it has a little light letting you know that it's engaged, and it engages the rear wheels. And then you hold the brake and pull on the lever to release it. This is to adjust the tilt for the heads-up display, basically the up and down. And then it has the brightness for the heads-up display, and I'm glad they have those buttons there. It's easy to get to. This is for the some of your safety features. You can quickly go there and turn them on and off. Traction control you can turn off here. Default is on in case you need to spin tires. Parking sensors, you can turn them on or off here. And then right here is the dimmer switch for the interior gauges. And it has a power tilt and telescoping steering column as well. So I'm sitting in the driver's seat, and I have the driver's seat all the way down and all the way back to give you an idea of the potential legroom here. And this is, I'm 6 feet tall. This gives me basically a little bit too much room. So I'll have to pull the seat up a little bit. So yeah, definitely would have to pull it up. And so if you're a little bit over 6 feet, shouldn't have a problem. It has a really nice leather wrap steering wheel. Flat here on the bottom. It has perforations here on the sides and then smooth on the top and bottom. It has a Type S badge, which is pretty cool looking. Now this is a heated steering wheel. The button is right here to turn it on. And basically it's just on or off. There's no different levels. But it does have a light letting you know that it is on or off. So the paddle shifters are here on the back. So here on the right side, it has the cruise control and other buttons. So right here, you turn it on, set, resume, cancel, set the distance between you and the vehicle in front of you using the radar adaptive cruise control, and there's the lane keep assist. These tend to work really well. Both these features, most everything in this vehicle works really well. As far as actually using it, is the way it's functioned. The automatic high beams are a little bit of an issue, but anyways, that's in the night video. But this scroll wheel right here, that corresponds with the screen. We'll get to that in a minute, the gauge screen right up here. Here on the left side, we saw the heated steering wheel button. This is to turn the radio on and off, and there's the volume for the radio. Now this little wheel right here, now these are rubber textured wheels, which is really nice. Some vehicles don't have that textured, and you have to, since this little wheel you can press in on it to make selections, you accidentally press it because you're trying to push on it to get enough traction to wheel the little wheel, move it up and down. But anyways, this has the little rubber tire tread or whatever on it. Now you can grab it and move it left and right like this. Same thing on the other side. And you can scroll up and down it, and you can press in on it to make selections. So this would be for the radio. So if you're changing through the tracks on the radio, left and right. Now the up and down corresponds with the heads-up display. When you pull up the apps on the heads-up display, you can make selections there with this and all that. But there's a voice recognition, there's a back button depending on what screen you're in here. So you have the combination of radio and then the heads-up display controls there. And I'm liking the fact that they have the heads-up display brightness and position that's easy to get to here. You don't have to go to some sub-menu in the settings here to adjust it. It's very easy to adjust. Windshield wiper controls are here on the right side. It does have an automatic rain sensing setting as well. Here on the left side is a turn signal, but it also has your headlight switch, so it's off. Toggling off turns off the daytime running lights. And then you have automatic parking lights and headlights on. And then the fog lights can be controlled here. Alright, so here's the gauges, and it's basically just a screen. And so you'll notice it has the RPMs here on the left side. It shows the status of the idle stop here, whether the cruise control's on. It has a speedometer over here, but it also has a digital speedometer there as well. It shows your range, your fuel gauge, engine coolant temperature, odometer there on the left side, and the outside temperature. Also the status of some of your safety features, like your blind spot detection system. So you notice this big blank spot right here. Right here it says normal, which is indicating the drive mode. But here on the right side there's a blank spot. So we're going to use this button right here. Remember we talked about this little scroll wheel, and it goes up and it scrolls up and down, and then you can actually push the wheel left and right. So I'm going to scroll down so you can see that was like a blank spot within this menu system. So this first one right here is the trip computer, and there's A and B, so there's 2 trips. You can reset those independently. Scrolling down will show information about your navigation. This is actually just showing a digital compass. And then your maintenance, when it's time to change the oil, that kind of thing. Tire pressure. This is the status of the all-wheel drive system, so it lets you know how much power is going to each wheel. So, you know, all-wheel drive, sometimes it'll use, you know, more front, more back, that kind of thing. But normal driving, you know, it's not going to be a big issue. It doesn't really matter so much. But if you're taking on, you know, like a little bit off-road or something like that, or slippery surfaces, then, you know, it might be handy to have this up. It has a G-force meter, which is pretty cool. So acceleration, braking, and cornering, you can see what the G-forces are and how they shift. The next one is the driver attention level. It's supposed to, like, let you know if you need to take a break, is what the intention is. That's why it has a cup of coffee. There's the blank screen that we saw originally, the blank screen. And then the next one is the safety support systems here, and you can go in here and turn the ones on or off, the ones that you want on or off, and right now they're all on. And then last but not least is the gauge settings. So let's go in here. You can change the units, but we can go to the gauge layout right here. And right now we're in crafted, so we could change it to advanced, and that's the other look that you can have, which is a little bit different looking, and it's a little non-traditional. So if you just want a non-traditional look, you can have that, and of course you can make that screen go away. That little information screen is optional. Also, when you do the drive mode, it'll kind of like, as you turn the knob, it'll pop up and make the screen slightly different. So that one's pretty cool there. It has that bar across the top. And that's the sport mode. So that's kind of a quick rundown of that screen, the gauge screen. So we install the start button. So here is a information screen here, and it's not a touch screen, so you can touch it all you want. It's not going to do anything. It's actually controlled with this little pad, this little touch pad here, and has like this little armrest. You can set your arm here, your wrist, and then use this pad. It takes some getting used to. It's not a simple system to use. So basically you swipe this little pad left or right. So we're going to swipe it like this. So it can kind of swipe it. And it makes like this Metal Gear Solid sound when you swipe it. But this first one right here is all apps. And let's see, when you scroll down like this, you can do that. Now let's go to cabin talk, which is pretty cool. So this would be, once you have this activated, it will project your voice. So when I let go of this, when I put my finger on it and scroll down to where I want it, and then let go of the touchscreen, it repositions. When I put my finger back down, it repositions it in a different spot, basically. So you kind of have to make sure you make your selection while your finger is holding it down. Make sure you don't let go. And then you press down on this whole pad and it makes a selection. So what this does is it projects your voice to the rear passenger. So you can talk normally and it projects it through the sound system of the vehicle so they can hear you better. So you're not like trying to shout at everybody in the back seat and they think you're hollering and mad at them or something. So that's how you kind of make selections there. Now the navigation is, once again, let me make sure I'm holding my finger down, then press it. Navigation has a map here, and you'll notice it has like this little section over here on the side. So when the map's up, you're gonna have something here on the side or anything, it's kind of like a split screen. And that's why there's a separate touch screen right here. So you can slide forward and back, and then you can press this button as well. So you have this side, back button, home button, and this pad is for the main portion, and this is for the little side portion. So I can kind of swipe that separately. It's funny because you can have the map on both small screen on the side and the main ones, which is kind of interesting. But so we're gonna swipe through, just kind of show you the different options there. Bluetooth audio has a clock with the date, and then it has the map there. And then pressing that top button, you can go in here and make selections quickly here. Alright, let's go here, and there's the satellite radio. Let's go ahead and press that. Turn the volume down. Alright, so you can see what it looks like. It has a little icon there. It has the, make sure that the air's not blowing on the camera. So it has a little icon there showing you the album art, and then your presets there at the bottom. And it's pretty much like any other system there. It does have wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, which is pretty cool. USB audio. Now, typically I would say most of the time you just pair your cell phone and play music. But this has such a high-end sound system that it might be worth taking some of your really good songs that you like to listen to and put them on a USB drive in a really high, quality format and connect it to the system. And in that way, you can get the full benefit of the sound system of this vehicle, because it is really, really good sounding. Even Bluetooth audio as well, but it is going to be slightly degraded compared to a direct connection. Now this social playlist right there, that is to where other people that have their phones paired with the Bluetooth system can add songs to the playlist, and everybody can play their own favorite songs, kind of like a jukebox. It's just pretty cool. So yeah, there's quite a few things in here to look at, but you can change the. I went through in the night video, change the accent lighting and stuff in the vehicle. But that's kind of a quick rundown, the whole idea behind the screen. It's not like super complicated, but it is a little bit clunky to learn how to use the screen when you first get started, so you want to practice with it in the driveway and not while you're going down the road. And the fact that it's just not touchscreen is a little bit aggravating sometimes, because sometimes you just want to touch something and not sit there and try to, miss, hitting the wrong thing over and over again. But anyways, it is a really good sound system. The navigation system looks pretty good, and it's a very functional screen. It's just a little bit hard to get started, a little bit of a learning curve anyway. Okay, so there's the four-way flashers here, temperatures for the driver and passenger. This is actually a tri-zone. The rear passengers have their separate climate control, as you saw. So the driver and passengers there, you can of course sync them and have the same number there, and that's turned on now. There's automatic mode. You can turn the system off here, where you want the air to blow there, fan speed. There you can control the rear settings here. You can lock the rear settings and only control it up here, so you don't have kids playing around with it. Front and rear defrosters. The rear defrosters will also turn on the heated side mirrors. And then down here is the ventilated seats, heated seats, and it also has an automatic function, so it'll just, depending on how hot or cold, how far it deviates from, say, room temperature, it will activate the appropriate one. And then right here is the massage function. It's actually a 3-stage. So that's for the passenger. The driver's over here, 3-stage, and this is basically the same thing on that side. So this is dynamic mode. So this is the drive mode. So as I scroll through, it's pretty cool. It has these different visuals as you make selections, and you saw what the screen over there looks like. So as you scroll through, it has these cool visuals. Now there's sport mode, and then if you want sport plus, you turn and hold it, and then it'll go into Sport Plus, which is pretty cool. And this is a very enjoyable vehicle to drive. It is fast. It has a good suspension system. Cornering is nice. Overall, pleasant experience. I'm very impressed with it. The nighttime is really good as well. I mean, the headlights are great. Little spoiler for the night video. So there's the idle stop. You can turn that feature off. That's the off button, which I always press when I get in the vehicle, unless I forget. Brake hold, so this will hold the brake for you when you're come to a complete stop until you push the accelerator. Over here, the little thing pops up and you have a USB-C and regular USB ports. So there is the shifter here, and you'll notice this is very similar to some of the Honda shifters. So it has park, reverse, neutral, and drive, and then it toggles to standard to where you can use the paddle shifters. But so it's basically, let's just pull this back right there. That's neutral. I mean, that's reverse, there's neutral, and then there's drive. And you press it again, it toggles to that standard mode. Press it again, it goes back to drive. So while we're here in reverse, let's go ahead and look at the backup camera. So the camera system is interesting because it has a really good view. It has the top-down 360 camera system. It has, right now we're looking at the rear view, and it has different rear views here. So using a little touchscreen, I can get a more linear view. You can see that was more of a wide view. And then this one, basically, press on the right one. Okay, so it's not going to do it because I'm in reverse. Let's go ahead and put it in park. And now it's showing the front view. We'll go ahead and go through that real fast. So there's the wide view, and then this one has the view where it just basically eliminates the car and you only see beside the car. So you're looking at the front wheels. As I turn the wheels though, you can see them pop out from the vehicle, so you can keep a close eye on the curb or whatever you're getting close to, or lines, and make sure that you're, you know, parked properly or whatever it is that you're trying to look for. And then you always have that top-down view, which is nice. So if you're not in, let's go ahead and get out of that. So if you're not in reverse or anything and you want to look at the camera, so this is something that is really handy to be able to just pop up the camera real fast. And when I first got in the vehicle, I was like, where's the button? Where's the button to quickly pop up the camera? And I thought it would be in this area here where it normally is. It's actually right here on the end of the windshield wipers, which is interesting. I was like, at first I was like, that's odd, but then when I started using it, I was like, that is very convenient. I can have my hand on the steering wheel right here and press it. I don't even have to move my hand from the steering wheel to press it. So I thought that was pretty clever. Once I understood how to use it and started using it, it's like, hey, this is actually pretty genius. All right, so that's the camera system. There's the shifter there, and you notice the shifter is flat, doesn't have anything sticking up, getting in the way. There's the volume knob for the radio. Change the tracks on the radio, so you can quickly rest your hand there, and you can, you know, adjust it. So this little hand rest is pretty nice. Has a little pocket right here, and a little rubber. You'll see these in pretty much all the pockets. There's like a little rubber bottom, so you can take it out, clean it, and put it back in. Cup holders are here. And it has a like a deeper one and a more shallow one, and then it has these little arm to take up the slack for different size cups. I wish all manufacturers would have that. Like Honda's, like my Honda Ridgeline doesn't have any of these, and I put a bottle in there and it's constantly wobbling around while I'm driving, so these are nice. It's not like new technology, and it's not super advanced or expensive, so I'm not sure why all vehicles don't have them. This is a wireless charge pad just under that, so you can put your cell phone there, it starts charging. And hadn't had any problem with charging my phone in its case, so it seems to work okay. And also, this is very rubbery, so your phone's not gonna be sliding around. It's gonna stay put. Here's the armrest, and it's like 3 millimeters of softness, and then it's hard as a rock, which is odd for a vehicle like this. So it has two portions. So there's a lever here, and then there's a button here. The button on the more towards the right lifts up the smaller portion here at the top, kind of a quick access portion, and then the lever to the left lifts up the whole thing, and then there's your just basically your junk drawer. So there's the USB port and a 12-volt power supply here in here as well, and then there is a little place for wires to go in and out right here. You can see right there, right next to the actual catch. So right here to the left of it, that's where the wires can go in and out without getting pinched. Rear view mirror, it's an auto dim rear view mirror, and it's actually auto dimming right now because they have the shade over the light sensor, which is located right here, and the side mirrors are now auto dimmed as well. So it's something you normally don't see during the day. Under the side mirror is the HomeLink garage door opener controls right there. There is a place to put your shades, and it's like a pretty soft like foam material in there. There's reading lights here, here. You turn on all the interior lights, turn them all off with that button, or have them on with the door. So you can turn that feature on or off. And it has a little green light letting you know the status of it. Also roadside assistance over here as well. These two buttons, one is for the shade and the other one is for the sunroof. We'll get to that in a minute. So the visors, the headliner is a black cloth and the visor is the same material. There's a mirror with a light. There's a little clip on this side. And these also extend out. Same thing on the other side. So let's check out this sunroof. It is massive, massive, massive sunroof. So first we're gonna use the button to open up the shade. And one press makes it go all the way back, which is nice. So yeah, it goes all the way back above the heads of the rear passengers. And then we can tilt it by pushing up on this button right here, or we can move it back by pressing it back. Now the front portion moves, the back portion's fixed. Press the button again. That's as far back as it goes there. It goes a little bit further back. And the shade covers 100% of the light, which is nice. Some vehicles have the shade that like allows some of the light to come in, but on a hot day you just don't want any light shining on you. This shade is nice. It just blocks 100%. So looking at the visibility in the back, I have one headrest down in the third row and one up, so you can see how that affects the visibility. There is a quite wide pillar back there, but as far as actual visibility, I hadn't really had an issue really of backing up and everything, because it has so much technology and changing lanes. You know, it has the blind spot detection system, rear cross traffic alert. It has the parking sensors, the camera system, you name it. I mean, it has so much technology that basically the visibility is still good enough. If you relied just on visibility, I could see where you kind of have to get used to it, but it hasn't been an issue at all. I mean, I just got in the vehicle, started driving, and it hasn't been an issue at all. Being able to quickly just push this button right here and look at the camera and see where I'm at, and see what's around me, really like that. All vehicles that have that camera system, they need to have a button that's quickly accessible. And the fact that they have it right there to where you can keep your hand on the wheel and touch it, I think that's great. And also it keeps the camera on for a while. Like I'm going 15 miles an hour and it's still up. Some vehicles turns it off after like 5 miles an hour or 10. So that's nice too. Because a lot of times it just turns off too quick. So yeah, it looks like it turned off around 16 miles per hour, so it must be over 15. So I've been averaging 19 miles per gallon, roughly. So thought that was okay. I mean, considering, all things considered. Forgot to turn off the idle stop. Because it does not, when the engine turns off, the air conditioner stops working. It's not like an electric system, so, and it's a pretty hot day. I think this is like one of the last hot days, hopefully one of the last hot days of the summer season. It's forecast to be like 93. So I'm in normal drive mode, and I didn't really like punch it or anything, but it's able to accelerate quite well, especially for the size and weight of the vehicle. It has a cool sound too. So what's interesting is this has that, it has that air suspension system, and you don't really notice necessarily at first. You can see the vehicle moving around and stuff. But the other day I just kind of like went like that, and we'll leave that cell phone there for a few minutes and see what happens, because it's kind of interesting. Because unless you're like really driving stupid or something, that cell phone seems to just stay there. Now these aren't the most bumpiest roads in the world or anything, but just find it kind of interesting because you can feel the vehicle moving around, but it just does something to keep you at a level or something. But we'll leave it there and see what happens. Okay, so it's just a pleasure to drive this vehicle. It is nice. I'm usually not really a big fan of bit larger 3-row type vehicles, but this one, it doesn't feel like a big cumbersome vehicle. It feels like it's more nimble, and you can kind of zip around, and it feels nice. That air suspension system, the lane keep assist works really good too. It's not too intrusive, and just kind of testing it by taking your hands off the wheel, you can tell it just kind of follows the lanes. It's not bouncing back and forth or swerving or anything like that. It works well. The adaptive cruise control keeps you at a safe distance, and actually it has 4 bars, 4 set distances, and I really like a far distance, so I actually pulled it down to 3. Because it was still at a safe level for me at 3 bars. Usually I have to keep it at the furthest distance possible, that most vehicles just have too close of a following distance. So yeah, I'm barely putting any pressure on the steering wheel. I'm just kind of resting my hand on it, and it's able to follow these lines nicely. The heads-up display is really nice as well. On camera, it looks a little bit blurry, but it's very sharp and clear. Not too intrusive. It doesn't, cause a problem with being too distractive. And it has a lot of information, and you can customize it. It has like a full menu in the heads-up display, which is pretty interesting. So it's basically like a little screen up there that reflects off the windshield, and it's very usable. Lets you know what the speed limit is if you're going over the speed limit. Lets you know what you have the cruise control set, what your following interval is, your lane departure system, blind spot detection, everything, pretty much everything, if you turn all that on. So yeah, my camera's moving around a little bit, but the cell phone seems to be holding on pretty good. The brakes are really good with that Brembo braking system. I thought it was kind of odd though that it has the 4-piston Brembo braking system in the front, but then when you go to the back, it's just regular brakes, and then they're not even ventilated. They're just like solid discs back there. Which, all the pressure, most of the braking happens in the front wheels anyway, but still, it's just kind of odd that you kind of cheap out in the back and you have all this nice stuff in the front. The sound system is good, really good. So, and I've tried to record, go through the settings and try to let you listen to the sound system, but it doesn't do it justice. And I don't want to just ruin your perception of this sound system by trying to do that. So it's one of those things you just kind of have to listen to it for yourself, because you feel it as well as hear it, and it's really good. There's a lot of speakers. It penetrates the air and fills it up nicely. So we're going over some serious bumps here, and the cell phone's not even moving at all, really. But yeah, it's a good sound system. Nice feeling ride. The headlights are fantastic. Did you see the night video? If you didn't, you got to check that out. You can see really good with the headlights. That's a little spoiler. There's a couple things that could be improved as far as the lighting of the vehicle, but you know, it's pretty well done for the most part. One thing I want to mention, on a really hot day, the air conditioner in this vehicle does struggle quite a bit. It has trouble when you first get in the vehicle cooling it down to begin with, and then depending on, you know, how much sun is shining in the vehicle and how many passengers you have, it kind of like, it's not the best. I mean, there's a lot of airspace in here, so there's a lot of air to cool. So the climate control, as far as the air conditioning, could be slightly better. I'll just say that. So I went ahead and just put it in sport mode because it does have like a little bit of a more of aggressive sound and takeoff. So you can hear that transmission shift and everything. Sounds pretty tough. Okay, so I'm at 65 miles per hour. And the RPMs are around 2,400, 2,500, something like that. And you hear some road noise, a little bit of road noise, but not a big deal, especially considering when you're playing the radio, you don't hear any of that. So there you have it. Thank you for watching, and let me know what you think about this vehicle in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.